Getting ready to start on section 1 of the PA BDR. I actually rode a chunk of this yesterday because section 4 just ended in the woods. So I am moving on past that section. And besides, there was a weird piece that actually wants you to drive across the interstate. And I'm sure it's fine, but I don't need to drive my motorcycle across 4 lanes of Interstate 80. So I'm taking this around back to basically to 80 where that cross is. I'm going to try to go look at it. So we're going to go over and see where it would have taken us across 80. I want to at least see it. I have a new setup today, so I can easily get my camera off of here. I've already taken a few pictures down this road. Very scenic. So I'm moving a little bit slow this morning. Just quite haven't woken up yet, so I've been taking my sweet time. This is really pretty. Oh yeah. It's just long little roads like this. I think I need pictures of stuff like this right now. I think I need that in my life. Alright, I'm gonna take some pictures. So just about caught back up to the BDR, as you can see on the GPS there. But to go back to where it hooks across the interstate is a little bit of a ways back. I don't want to backtrack that far, so I'm just going to keep going. So here, this puts us back on the BDR. Oh, that was a nice camp spot right there. I am really glad I got a hotel. I was chilled for hours last night. Oh boy, this is confusing. I'm gonna hope it's this way. Nope, it was not. Oh. And we go left. Look at. Am I gonna say look at this enough? Oh, that's a great camping spot. 4th Gap Road. I want to go that way though. The journey must go this way. But I do love pine forest. Around Pittsburgh we don't have much. We don't have many pine trees, and then Allegheny National Forest is like all hemlocks. So this is something nice because it's not just hemlocks. I really like it. I mean, there's plenty of hemlocks, but so this is a more challenging section on our regular BDR route in section 1. This is just part of the regular route, but a little rocky. Luggage is really moving around on me in the back. But not bad, just rocky. I guess if you look at the terrain, it makes sense. It's rocks everywhere. Yikes. Yeah, I'm tired. It's funny. This is how it'll wake you up, though. You need to get those juices pumping so you can get flying and enjoy it. Whoa, yikes. Just ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it. Just float with it. Float with it. There you go. Oh, that's picture worthy right there. This is worth a stop. Okay, we're gonna get some photos here. So I have the drone following me. We'll see how it can do. And it ran into a trouble. So, okay. So we're gonna stop to take some pictures right here because this is just a beautiful black road in the pine forest. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to try to get the shot. Doesn't seem to be anyone out here. A little risky. Tripod looks a little crazy though, but I've got the thing leveled. It's okay. Work. Okay, here we go. Let's make a movie. Okay, that's probably good. You killed it. I know this isn't off-road, but this section has been just fun. Really twisty, beautiful road. Nobody's on it. Really enjoyed this section. Doesn't feel like Pennsylvania. Feels like more like Colorado. I like it. But it's been a really nice ride so far. I stopped for lunch at a really fantastic place along the way. Very rustic, and of course I forgot the name. I didn't try to document it while I was there for you guys. I just needed to eat. And I know it's just a little hard to, I don't want to be the person like recording themselves in a restaurant. I just wanted to eat in peace. Oh, look at this. Oh, Oh, there's a photo right there. Look at this beautiful thing. I need to keep going because there's going to be a million beautiful roads. And I started to look at the map, and I've got a long ride ahead of me yet. So it's time to just keep boogieing. So this is a nice little state park. Hopefully this sign says which one it is, because it does not. Archery range. Nice. But there was a dam and a little bit of a lake there. Oh, here we go. Here's a sign that will probably say which we are just leaving. Little Pine State Park. That was a cute place. Definitely I'd come back there and spend some time. Little Pine State Park. And now we are out of that. And we are back to gravel. That big mountain you saw off in the distance is where we're headed up. Camp Robert. See you, Robert. Woo! It's a little slick. Road closed to all PGE staff. What in the world is that? Whoa, that is slickery dock. Mouse went up the clock. I guess we'll stay out of the middle. Yeehaw, we're back to it. But I'll tell you, all of the roads in between the gravel have been just, they've been awesome too. So I'm excited for the day when my wife gets a bike and we can do this together. That's the only thing that would make this adventure better, is if she was here. But she's on her own little adventure today in New York. And I'm in the middle of nowhere in PA. But when she's here, we're going to have a ton of fun. And then, once I get her used to riding motorcycles, we'll go to Bhutan again and take a Bhutan tour. The only problem with Bhutan, unless I don't know, I'll have to look and see how much it costs. Maybe the tourist visa is included in the trip. Then that wouldn't be too bad. But Bhutan, we've been there once. Let's see, I am going straight. We've been there once in 2016, and it was, I can't remember, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 a day for your tourist visa. Now that did include your hotel, and they were nice accommodations. They were really nice, but it just felt pricey for a third world country. But everything there was clean, pristine, beautiful forests, glacier water in the rivers. I loved it. I didn't actually, let's be honest, at the time I was a little upset about the money, so I let that spoil it for me just a little bit while I was there. But looking back, man, it was an adventure, and a place I would like to go again. Though there's so many places to see in life that going back sometimes doesn't happen. So it's a good reminder, if you start worrying about money when you're on vacation, just let that go, because you're there and you may not get to do it again. I may not get to do this again ever. So like, it's very rare that I can have 4 days where I can get away. So enjoy it when you can, and don't worry about what things cost as much. You'll make the money someday. Time and opportunity to do stuff like this only happens so often. The other place I'd like to go, I would like to ride motorcycles in Bhutan, or not Bhutan, excuse me, we just talked about Bhutan. So we'll start this section over again. You can cut this out in editing. Oh, I'm in neutral. False neutral. No, first gear. That was bad. Don't kill me, bike. So that's the first time that's happened on this trip where it was really negative like that. Where I bumped the shifter and it threw me into first, and while I'm standing up, that wasn't great, but no big deal. Anyway, so, oh, there's folks on the road. Must mean I'm coming back into town, off to the next section. Oh, look at this. Where am I going? Okay, I wasn't expecting that turn. That was a cute little town. I was tempted to stop and go talk to those guys, but I've stopped so much today. I'm just worried I'm running late. I'm just not sure. This is a shorter ride. But part of me wants to just keep moving. Oh, have I asked you to like and subscribe yet? Well, I don't have a YouTube channel. This is for my new YouTube channel. I'm going to share this with you all, and if you'd like to see me do more adventures, like and subscribe. You know, if I get subscribers, I probably won't, but I might keep making these videos. I'd like to pay for my camera anyway. Think that's possible? I don't know. I think what really got me started wanting to ride again. So I haven't told my story. Oh, hey, there we go. Yeah, these guys shouldn't be out here. That's awesome. I would do it too. Actually, this whole trip, my old Honda Nighthawk that I have, I could have taken this on that ride. In fact, that would be pretty fun to come back. It just would be pretty rough on the interstate all the way here on that thing. And not until I get the clutch fixed. That's a whole nother story, but I put a new clutch in it, and now the lever, I don't know if the clutch springs are too tight, but the lever is just so hard to pull back that it sort of just made the bike unenjoyable to ride. But that is for another time. But I thought I'd tell you the story about me riding. It's all back to when I was a kid in Iowa. On my grandpa's farm, I had a 125 on an 80 frame, which I know I mentioned it briefly before and how I got in trouble with my grandpa. But what I didn't tell you about is we also had a 250, and on the 250, I mean, this thing was tall. It felt like this bike at that age. I couldn't touch the ground, not even tiptoes, and so I was scared of that bike, and it had a lot of power for a little guy. Anyway, so I'd ride on roads like this in Iowa, on dirt roads, gravel roads, mainly just on the farm, and did the same like area over and over and over again. And then at some point, I don't know what happened to the bike. I've been trying to figure it out. I don't think we ever sold it. I think it just got put in the barn and never rode again. Like once I started driving, that was that. I wish I would have had, I don't know, I wish I would have thought about it more. I actually started driving cars and riding mountain bikes like crazy at that, when I was like 18, 19, 20.
and the motorcycles just sort of faded away. And I think I just felt like if I got a street bike, I wouldn't be a responsible person with it, because I rode my dirt bike pretty wild when I was a kid. So I sort of just put it out of my mind, because I didn't want to just ride down the same lanes on the farm. I think that's what the problem was in Iowa, and meanwhile there would have been amazing places to ride there. But I always had it in my mind that I ride motorcycles. Like, I'm a motorcycle rider. So then when my wife and I in 2016 we went to India, there was a place in Goa, and we rented this little moped, and my wife always says that's the first place she ever rode a motorcycle, and I'm like, no, that was a moped. But it was crazy going through India traffic. It wasn't even a big city, but there was still crazy traffic on that little moped. It was pretty fun. That started to get my itch back again. And then we went to Nepal. We didn't ride again in India, but we went to Nepal and we rode all over the place in Nepal. Jen rode on the back. It was probably only a 250, this little bike that we had. It was a gutless wonder, and it did not do well with two people on the bike, honestly. But it was a blast, and we got to travel all over the country of Nepal. Let's see, we were in Chitwan for a big portion of it, and so we got to go to places. This alligator. Now you'll have to. I apologize. Riding right now, I don't remember the name of the alligator, but it has that really long snout. I think Nepal is one of the only places that have them, and they're endangered. But anyway, we went to a sanctuary for these alligators. One was like a habitat, just a natural habitat, and then the other place was more like a breeding ground where they were taking care of them. And it was crazy at this just this park, and you're like from here to that tree, and there's like 100 alligators. It was a little intimidating, and we were just on the bike, but we were walking around and enjoying that, and then just traveling all over back roads in Nepal, not really knowing where we're going. And then when we got into Kathmandu, we rented it. No, I apologize. We didn't go to Kathmandu on a bike. Actually, we were in another city that has the lake. Oh, Pokhara. We were in Pokhara. And when we were in Pokhara, we rode a rental motorcycle for like a day and a half there. And it had been affected by the earthquake. I don't remember if the earthquake was in 2015 or if it was in early 2016. And some of the roads were really beat up. I'm still on track, okay. But we were going up crazy mountain roads together to go up to see some Buddhist peace pagoda. And it was obviously not the tourist route. Because there was a point where the road was just gone off a cliff, and so we walked across the side of this cliff. It sounds worse than it was, but it was interesting. I wish I had some video of that. I don't think we do. I think there's just one picture up at that Buddhist peace pagoda of me holding my motorcycle helmet. After that trip, that was just a lovely trip, and after that trip we came back to the States, and a few years later, probably 2020, so that's 2006 to 2020, didn't ride again. But again, in my mind, I'm a motorcyclist. I ride motorcycles, and apparently my wife is starting to think that now too, because we're riding in the car home, and our neighbor had a motorcycle for sale, a 1993 Honda Nighthawk. And I think she saw me looking at it, and she said, "You want to turn around?" And I'm like, "Yes." And so that started my motorcycle journey again. So I got that 1993 Honda Nighthawk, and I fell in love with that bike. Rightly so. I mean, it's a fantastic bike. And I rode that a summer just stock like it was, and just had a great time riding back roads in Pittsburgh. Not too big a trip. The furthest I ever rode it at that point in that first year, no, that was the second year. That first year I really didn't go that far. I was just getting used to the bike and riding around. The second summer, I did a trip to Allegheny National Forest. And then shortly after that, I started to put on more knobby tires on it. And boy, it felt like a completely different bike. And I felt I was getting a little brave with it and riding on gravel a lot. And I didn't mind it on gravel, actually. I would ride this all day long on that Nighthawk. It would just do awesome on this. Not as comfortable as this bike. I mean, this is just like I could ride this for weeks. It's a dream. But the biggest problem for the Nighthawk for me is for my body frame. I felt like I was squished, and I didn't like that. And this, my arms are straight and my legs aren't getting cramped up. But regardless, you don't care about that. But so then I started riding with a buddy who had a KTM 890, and I could, that Nighthawk was a 750, so I could, keep up with him fine, but I couldn't go the same places he could go. And then he started talking about, before that, I decided I'm going to get an adventure bike. I just didn't really want to spend the money, but my wife was, again, she was a big supporter, and so we started talking about it, and she's like, yeah, get a bike. Did I tell you my wife's awesome? I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. Anyway, I started looking at the Harley Pan America. In fact, I fell in love with the Pan America. Now, all this time, I haven't been riding on my license. I've just been riding on a permit. So, when I went to go look at the Pan America, I hadn't thought that through. I didn't have a license, so I couldn't test drive it. So, in my mind, I was going to buy it. Honestly, I was like, I walked in there ready to buy it. And I went in with a friend, and we looked at it, and just after sales tax and everything, it just was so much more money than I wanted to pay. I just didn't want to drop that kind of money when I paid $1,700 for a 93 Nighthawk and I'm having tons of fun. Like, I'd like to have more fun and work less. Not the other, there's that false first gear again. Why is it doing that? That's twice on the trip. I do not like that. So why would I, pay a bunch of money and have to work more and not be able to ride when I'm trying to pay for a bike? Sort of how I think. I need to have $1,700 worth of fun. Not more than that. Not $30,000 is what it was going to come to for the Pan America. Then I got on the Pan America Facebook group forums and I started seeing the horrific problems. Now, mind you, usually when you go to one of these forums, you see the people complaining, but it just seemed like there was a lot of issues with the Pan America. And I did not want issues. And it was really heavy, just sitting on it in the dealership. So my friend, I was talking to him that has the KTM, and he was like, "What? Don't get a Harley. You need to get a KTM, or get the Husqvarna, get the Norden 901." So then I started looking up the Norden 901, and that black Norden, the base model, my goodness, that thing was beautiful. And then I saw that the 2023 was going to be released, and with the upgraded suspension, and I'm like, that's my bike. So I ordered one. Sight unseen, never rode it, I ordered one. And here we are today, and the second I stepped on this bike, I was like, that's my bike. And I have, ever since I got this thing earlier this year, I was like, I'm going to do the BDR. I'm going to ride that thing. And here I am. Now, we did Allegheny National Forest trip, me and some friends, in the summer, and that was really fun. There's nothing like going with buddies and doing trails, and we did some hard stuff there, and then went back to a camp all night. But there's something about this, even though these roads aren't as challenging or technical that we were on, and the length of it, the amount of time is just awesome. And I thought this was just a daydream. I never thought I'd actually be able to do it because of the time. I didn't know if I'd be able to get off 4 days from work. And so this is just a perfect opportunity with my wife being able to go to a training in New York this week. We had to close our photography studio anyway. She is with a photographer named Lindsay Adler, and they're taking pictures of models and doing all kinds of fashion photography this weekend. And I'm a little jealous because I need some more photography training, and I would love to do something like that. But let's see, photography training to ride my motorcycle for 4 days. Well, we're going to ride the motorcycle for 4 days. I'll tell you that. So, but I'm sure she's really enjoying it. It sounds like she's getting some nice shots and learning some new techniques that no doubt will translate into better things for our studio. Alright, I've been chatting for a while. I am not sure how much longer. Why do I keep losing the power to my Garmin? That scares me. It just, I don't know what's happening. If the wires inside are getting loose. But if I lose my map, I'm in big trouble. Because I do not have a backup on my phone. I wouldn't have even considered it because I've never had that. Oh, did I just pass my turn? Was I supposed to go there? I was supposed to go there. Oh, and that road looks scary. Awesome. Oh, beep, beep, beep. What happened? Oh, don't shoot off this hill. That would be great. Okay. Here we go. 2 miles on this. Yeah, I'm on the right road. It's not scary, it just was the leaves that made it look that way when I pulled in. This is awesome. I feel like I could do an expert section today. I'm feeling better today. Now that I'm awake and alert and ready to go. It took a long time. It's 2:30. Yeah, it took me a long time to feel like I'm at my best. And I feel like I'm there again. But I haven't talked about this bike that much, and the things personally I love about this bike is just the feel riding it. It's just heaven to ride. I have the preload cranked up on the back with the extra weight from the luggage, and that has been, I've never done that before actually. I've only adjusted the front ones. And I didn't adjust the front springs this time. It makes it a little bit stiffer. Right now it's just like goes over everything like butter, but sometimes it makes it so you can't really feel the front wheel because it's just so soft. It's just gorgeous. But whoa, miss that hole. Okay. But with that said, when we were in Allegheny National Forest, I cranked it up there, and I liked it because it felt like I had a little bit more control. Here I haven't seemed to. What's this little guy? Oh, look at that little baby porcupine. I've never seen a porcupine before that's not smashed on the side of the road. Do they shoot the porcupines? Oh, he's gone. Well, I hope I caught that on video. That was cool. That's the only wildlife I've seen on this whole trip. If that was a baby porcupine, like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you think that thing was if you saw it. I don't know if you could see it or not. This is officially the Baby Porcupine channel. So I've actually only been to the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon once before. and it was a backpacking trip with my wife and a few friends. Great company, really good friends on that trip. But I did not have the best time because I apparently don't like backpacking. I would think. I love the outdoors, I love camping. But having all, now mind you, I didn't have really expensive backpacking gear that was all light. I had a Boy Scout backpack, metal frame, heavy thing that I had gotten at Goodwill like forever ago. So there was mistake one, and then just filled it with like regular camping gear, mistake two, and it was heavy. And so my ankles and feet started to hurt, and it was a 2-day walk. And by the time you got up to the view, it's all blocked by trees, and I'm like, what is this? I walked for 2 days for what? So I'm excited to go to the PA Grand Canyon today, and I hope I have a very different experience because I won't physically be in pain like I was that time. But I think I could do it again if we ever backpack, but I would pack much differently. You know, it's definitely worth purchasing really light camping gear, so you don't have that weight. Look, I lost my Garmin again. Why am I losing power? That cannot be good. I've got another big day of riding ahead of me. I hope it's charging too, because wow. So I'm wondering, it's either loose here. Oh boy, playing with the Garmin, and there's a curve. Or the wires come loose inside, which I crimped those with some nice, when I did that. I installed it pretty well. But that is troublesome. Work, little Garmin. Oh, Matt, the stop sign police are going to get me. Yeah, this is a nice road. Hey, there's like car number 2 on this trip. They didn't wave back, they're rude. Rude. And they're probably thinking, look at that motorcycle idiot going fast. He's supposed to go 5 miles an hour on these gravel roads, or he's going to splatter his brains out all over the ground. I'm guessing that's what they're thinking. Because that is straight cranking down right there. We'll stay on this side of the road, thank you. Now, so we went from like green to all the leaves are gone over here. I was hoping to get beautiful colors peak time, and I don't know, maybe it was just really hot this year and then it got cold like in a week. So I don't know if the temperature affected the leaves, or if now that I'm getting more north I've missed it, or maybe these trees are just all dead. Okay, that's probably good. Alright, I'll go back and get my camera. So, you know, I think this behind the scenes is actually sort of interesting. You know, in the actual YouTube video, they'd probably just show these clips. But I think the struggle of trying to set up the camera is sort of interesting. To get these shots, it's sort of a pain in the butt. Turn around the motorcycle, hope nobody steals your camera. Alright. Woo! I wasn't ready for that. Got my wheel up a little bit. So I think we're coming close. I think we're coming close to the end of the day. I see the finish line on the GPS, but I don't know where I am, and I don't know where that's relation to anything. So from there, I've got to figure out if I'm going to camp tonight, which I think I'm going to camp tonight. but not if there's all those gnats, you know. So once I get to the finish line, unless I see a spot along here that's perfect, I'll start looking for a place to stay for the night. It says it's 66. It does not feel like 66. It seems more. It's it feels a lot colder today. Whoa, there's our first deer. Hey, buddy, where's your friends? So there's one. Just don't hit me. That would be great, right at the end. So we've seen a porcupine and 2 deer. I did expect to see more wildlife. And I've seen a couple mushrooms. 2 of them were worth stopping, and I didn't. I just kept going. And I don't think this camera caught it either. So seriously, is this the end? Where in the world? Why does it end here? And where is here? No civilization, no campgrounds, no hotels. Why does it end here? I mean, well, there must be a reason. I don't know the reason.
So after ending in the woods, I came out somewhere on this road on 6. I actually think it was like somewhere right in about here. And I went up and down this road repeatedly looking for lodging, and either everything was full or the campground was just not ideal because it was just for RVs. And there was like this one here looked like a nice little campground, but there was nowhere to hang a hammock. So I went back and forth up and down this road and then decided, okay, let's go see the PA Grand Canyon. Forget it, I'll find a place. And that's when the GPS decided to go crazy. So it took me down this road and then up here and then over by the airport, which is right here. PA Grand Canyon's right in this area, and it brought me up in here, and that's in the video right now. And I'm driving up the roads through here, and there were some nice pictures up in here. It was beautiful, so I didn't mind. But then from this area, I still wanted to go to the PA Grand Canyon, maybe even for sunset, because it was getting close to that time now. And it took my GPS, decided that PA Grand Canyon should be way over here. It took me from all the way over here, all the way to this little town right here, Antrim. And so you'll see in the video, like, I'm parked right here, and I'm flying the drone over these woods. And this town was supposed to be where the PA Grand Canyon is. Well, at this point now, it's getting close to 6 o'clock. I'm exhausted from riding all day, and I was just seriously a little frustrated at this point. Finally, I found Wellsboro, and I found an awesome place to stay there, and it was fantastic. But again, it was the very last room. I almost didn't get it. So I definitely should have planned better for my lodging, especially when it was cold, and I couldn't just count on camping 100%. So then the next morning, I was able to go see the PA Grand Canyon over here. But it was just a lot of like running around, but it was worth it because I got some nice photos, and it was a really nice evening. And then I got had some good food here in Wellsboro and was ready to go for the next day.